you guys, what we want to do today is we want to plant one fence post, but it's a big one, and we want to plant it deep. And the fence post that we want to plant is that you, our listeners, we, us, each individually, can all start our own leadership movement. And for me, I'm not going to lie, like the words leadership movement are a little bit daunting.
Yeah.
And they seem, they seem so big. And I think for so many of us, we say, oh my gosh, I could never do that. But as I was thinking about the three of us coming together and like planting this fence post, I got to thinking, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Hasn't that how every movement has started? In that someone learned something that they thought could be different. And they kind of wondered about it and said, well, what inside of me needs to be different, maybe to think about it that way? And then what steps would I take in my own world, in what I can control, to begin to operate in that different way? And when one person does that, when they begin to control what they can control and take the little steps that they can take, there's energy that is created. And somebody else is watching, right? And they're saying, hey, how can I be a little bit more like that? And all of a sudden, this momentum is happening, and we have a movement. It might be a movement that's this big or this big or this big. But what we're here today to say is you can start that movement. And what would that look like for you? Yeah. So for me, it's super exciting and really important to get that actionable piece. And so I have a little story to kind of tell as we think about stepping off into this leadership movement. And here's the deal, you guys. We're here, right? We are right here at the end of this leadership mix called Create a Leadership Movement. And it's important. It's important to understand that we don't just land here lightly, right? There's been a lot of work that has come before to get us to this very last point. And all of that work, this journey that we've been on, really to understand what creating a leadership movement means and what it can mean to us, is to help and support us as we think about, of course, moving forward with our own leadership movement and what that might look like. So here's what's been happening. Here's the work that we've been through, right? So when we think about the leadership mix movement, or the leadership mix, the create a leadership movement mix, here's some of the things that we've been talking about so far. And so if you're interested and you want to learn more about this, all of these recordings are available at RejuviVentures.com. And then also there are some short reels, important pieces that we wanted to pull out and highlight that are available for you as well. But just real quickly, a glimpse into the work that has happened so far. So we started out by talking about barrier takedown. Well, what in the world is a leadership movement? And what's the cost of a leadership movement? Then we talked about, well, we should see the evolution, right? We should understand what's happening in our industry. What's going on out there? What is evolving? Because it's evolving very, very fast. And do we have our kind of finger on what's happening? And what does that look like? And then stronger together, where we said, okay, well, this evolution that's happening is all about exceptional leadership, and that exceptional leadership is about developing the leader and the business at the same time. And what happens when we do that? How are they strong together? And how does it help the leader and the organization as well? And then we talked about take the risk. Well, what happens if we don't do anything? What is the risk of not engaging in a leadership? It doesn't matter. And if so, why? And then we took a look at